Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into a total mystery. Why are so many hardworking families feeling completely financially stuck even when they're doing everything exactly right? You know the drill. You go to work, you stick to a budget, you really try to save, and yet somehow you still feel like you're losing ground. Well, today, we're unpacking the silent erosion of middle-class wealth, and we're pulling back the curtain on the economic forces that are quietly impacting your wallet.
Seriously, have you ever logged into your banking app, stared at the balance, and asked yourself this exact question? Where did all my money go? Look, let me tell you right now, if you are feeling an intense, squeezing financial pressure, you are not imagining things. You might actually be earning more than you did 3 or 4 years ago. Maybe you got that promotion or you got that raise. But for some reason, paying the bills, buying food, and trying to save for the future just feels a whole lot harder than it used to.
Section 1. Redefining inflation, the hidden tax.
Okay, so when most of us hear the word inflation, we immediately think of the gas pump or the checkout aisle at the store, right? We just think it means prices are going up. But to really understand what's happening to your wealth, we need to redefine it based on our source material. Inflation is actually the gradual loss of your money's purchasing power. In simple terms, your money didn't physically change. A $20 bill still looks exactly like a $20 bill. But the amount of goods and services that specific bill can actually buy, that has dropped significantly. To put that into perspective and show you how dramatic this can be over time, a single US dollar in 1913 had the exact same purchasing power as about $30 today. The paper is the same, but the power is totally gone.
Let's do a quick mental experiment. Imagine you had a crisp $100 bill 5 years ago. You walk into the supermarket, and that money easily covers a full week's worth of groceries for your family. We're talking meats, fresh produce, snacks, the whole shebang. Now take that exact same $100 bill into the store today. What does it actually get you? Maybe a couple of bags of basic food and some household essentials if you're lucky. The currency is exactly the same, but the purchasing power has absolutely plummeted.
Section 2. The middle class squeeze. Caught in the middle.
So why does this matter so much for us? Well, the middle class is uniquely vulnerable to this economic shift. Think about it. On one side, the wealthy often hold significant assets, things like stocks, businesses, and real estate. When inflation drives prices up, the value of those assets typically rises right along with it, offering them a built-in financial shield. On the other end of the spectrum, lower-income households may qualify for government assistance programs that are specifically designed to help absorb these cost-of-living shocks. But the middle class? You're caught right in the crosshairs. You earn way too much to qualify for significant assistance, but you don't own enough major assets to ride the wave of rising prices. You're pretty much forced to absorb the full, unshielded impact of inflation on your daily life.
Let's ground this in a totally relatable reality. Consider a family earning $70,000 a year. Just a few years ago, this income meant a pretty comfortable, stable life. You pay the mortgage, you buy the groceries, handle the healthcare premiums, tuck a little bit away in savings, and maybe take a nice family vacation. Then, inflation seeps in. Food costs rise, gas goes up, your insurance policies jump, utility bills climb. Childcare gets vastly more expensive. Suddenly, this family is shelling out hundreds of dollars more every single month. And here's the really harsh truth. Nothing in their life actually improved. They didn't get a bigger house. They didn't get a better car. They are literally paying hundreds more for the exact same lifestyle.
And that brings us to a profoundly important realization from our sources. It creates the illusion that people are standing still when they're actually moving backward. Just take a second to let the gravity of that sink in. This is the hidden, highly dangerous nature of inflation. You think you're holding the line because, hey, your life looks exactly the same from the outside. But underneath, your financial foundation is actively eroding away.
Section 3. The illusion of progress, falling behind. This perfectly illustrates why making more money on paper doesn't always translate to actual wealth. We call this the wage trap. So let's say you sit down at your annual review and you get a solid 3% salary increase. You feel great, right? But if your living expenses have increased by 6% over that exact same year, you are actively losing purchasing power. On paper, sure, your gross income is higher. In reality, you're becoming poor. You're working harder, you're officially earning more, yet you're falling further behind. In fact, historical data shows that during high inflationary periods, wage growth often lags behind price increases by anywhere from 12 to 18 months. It just keeps you trapped in that deficit.
And nowhere is this illusion more devastating than in real estate. The housing squeeze is literally delaying the American dream. For decades, home ownership has been the undisputed champion of middle-class wealth building. It was your reliable pillar. But inflation has pushed the cost of housing into the stratosphere. And it's not just the sticker price of the home we're talking about. Mortgage rates are way up, property taxes have risen, Homeowners insurance has absolutely skyrocketed. So for young families trying to buy their very first home, they're being forced to delay buying for years, which completely strips away one of the most vital avenues for building generational wealth.
So what happens to the money you do manage to save? Let's take $10,000 for example. Imagine you do the responsible thing. You scrape together $10,000 and you put it safely in a bank account. But if inflation is running hotter than the tiny bit of interest your bank pays you, the real-world value of your savings is actively shrinking. It's exactly like a slow leak in a tire. You check your statement, you still see a 1 followed by 4 zeros, so you don't panic. But over time, the damage compounds. That exact same money buys less and less. This silent leak is exactly why so many hardworking people are experiencing massive anxiety about whether they'll ever be able to comfortably retire.
Section 4. Fighting the hidden tax. Building defenses.
We also have to recognize the psychological toll of all this. Inflation doesn't happen overnight like some sudden stock market crash. It's a gradual decline that kind of cascades into your life. First, things just feel tight. So step 1, you stop eating out as much. Step 2, you cancel a few streaming subscriptions. Step 3, you decide, well, maybe we'll delay the family vacation this year. And finally, step 4, you start relying on credit cards just to bridge the gap between paychecks. Little by little, this financial stress chips away at your lifestyle, your relationships, and honestly, your mental health. It really is a hidden tax that quietly reduces your wealth without ever sending you a formal bill.
But listen, you are not powerless. Building financial defenses is absolutely crucial, and our sources highlight some really effective strategies to fight back and take control. First, focus on increasing your skills so you can improve your income. You have got to outpace that wage trap we talked about earlier. Next, aggressively reduce unnecessary debt, especially those high-interest credit cards that just drain your monthly cash flow. Build robust emergency savings so you don't have to rely on debt when an unexpected emergency hits. And finally, invest for the long term so your money can actually grow faster than inflation. Now, to be totally clear, these actions don't magically eliminate the macroeconomic force of inflation, but they do build vital financial resilience, they patch that leak in the tire, and they give you your power back.
You know, you cannot solve a problem if you don't fully understand it. And the goal of this explainer is to give you the clarity to see exactly what is happening to your money. The silent pressure on the middle class is incredibly real, and it's getting way harder to ignore. So I want to turn this investigation over to you. Have rising prices changed your lifestyle over the last few years? Do you think this hidden tax of inflation is the absolute biggest challenge facing the middle class today? Take a moment to reflect on your own financial defenses, and whatever you do, don't let the silent erosion of wealth catch you off guard. Keep learning, keep adapting, and take control of your financial future.